Let's set the scene. It's World War II, and we're on the misty coast of Japan. Here, a respected surgeon, Dr. Sadao Hoki, lives a life of order, a life of science. But all of that is about to change, because a man is about to wash ashore who will bring a storm right to his doorstep, threatening to destroy everything he holds dear.
So, let me ask you this. You see a dying enemy soldier on the beach. What do? Do you follow your oath as a doctor to save him, or do you follow your duty as a patriot to condemn him? This isn't just some thought experiment, it's the impossible choice that is literally just washed up at Dr. Sadao's feet.
And just like that, it begins. This figure, you can barely tell it's a man, stumbles out of the fog and collapses. It's a sudden burst of chaos right in the middle of Sadao's perfectly controlled world. And with this stranger's arrival, you just know nothing is ever going to be the same again.
But, to really get the weight of this decision, we have to understand the man who's being forced to make it. Who was Dr. Sadao before this storm crashed into his life?
You see, Sadao is a man caught between two completely different worlds. On the one hand, he's a brilliant modern surgeon, right? He was trained in America with all the latest life-saving techniques. But on the other hand, he's the son of a very traditional, very strict Japanese patriot who raised him to believe in Japan's destiny above all else. This internal battle has pretty much been simmering his entire life.
This was the kind of thing he heard his whole childhood. His father wasn't just the dad, he was like the architect of Sadao's whole identity, building him up to serve his country. Every single decision, even who he was allowed to marry, had to be measured against this really high standard of Japanese purity and purpose. And then, the terrifying reality of the situation sets in. The man on the beach, he isn't some fisherman caught in a storm. No. He's an escaped American prisoner of war. He's wounded, he's helpless, and in wartime Japan, his very existence right there is a crime. To even help him is an act of treason.
So the battle begins, and it's not happening on some distant island with guns and bombs. It's happening right here, inside one man's conscience, the doctor versus the patriot.
And, the split couldn't be clearer. On one side, you have all those years of medical training, that oath he took that goes beyond any flag. I have been trained not to let a man die. But then, on the other side, he's got the voice of his father and the brutal logic of war ringing in his ears. He is my enemy.
And here's the kicker. It's the man's weakness, his vulnerability, that forces Sadao's hand. The wound, it transforms him from some abstract idea of the enemy into a very real patient. The doctor inside him is just automatically triggered by the sight of an injury, and it starts to override the patriot's impulse to just turn him in. The stakes here are just incredibly high. Shelter the guy, and you risk everything. Your reputation, your freedom, your family's safety. Or hand him over and you know you're condemning him to a certain, probably brutal death. And in that moment, he makes a choice. He decides to carry the man into his home. But bringing him inside, that's just the first step. Now this one act of defiance is about to send shockwaves through his entire household.
The first rebellion comes from inside his own house. His servants are terrified. To them, Sadao isn't just defying the government, he's defying fate, nature itself. The gardener basically says, look, the sea and the gun already tried to kill this man for a reason. Messing with that is just asking for disaster. And their fear leaves Sadao and his wife, Hana, completely alone in this. So even with this mutiny in his own home, even with his own head spinning with doubt, Sadao acts. He gets his surgeon's coat, he gets his instruments. And the moment that scalpel touches the man's skin, well, that's it. One identity has won. The doctor has taken control.
But it's crazy. Even as his hands are skillfully working to save him, his mind is just a mess. He actually resents this guy for putting him in this impossible situation. This isn't some act of compassion. It's a grim, almost mechanical duty, and he's muttering at the unconscious patient the whole time, questioning why he's even doing it.
So the operation's a success. Dr. Sadao, the brilliant surgeon, has done his job perfectly. But here's the thing. In saving the man's life, he has just made his own problem so much worse. Before, he was hiding a dying enemy. Now he's hiding a living one.
Just when you think things can't get any more complicated, the outside world comes knocking. And this story is about to take another, much darker turn.
Okay, so the servants have all quit, the house is deadly silent, they're totally isolated, and then, the moment they've been dreading, an official messenger at the door. Hana is paralyzed with fear. This is it. They're caught. But The reason for the summons is not what she thinks.
Sadio is called to the palace, but not for treason. It's because the old general is sick. And when Sadio, probably thinking he has nothing to lose, confesses everything, the general's reaction is just shocking. He's not angry about the enemy soldier. He's terrified of losing his personal doctor. It's all about him. He agrees to protect Sadio, not out of any sense of loyalty, but out of pure, cynical self-interest.
And so the general comes up with a solution, and I'm using air quotes there. He offers to send his own private assassins to just murder the American quietly in his sleep. He frames it like it's a simple favor, a neat and tidy way to clean up a messy problem. No noise, no witnesses. Just a body that disappears. So now Sadao has a new, grotesque choice. Let the state capture and probably torture the man, or let assassins murder him in his own home. He realizes he has to find a third way out of this.
He sort of agrees to the general's plan, but for 3 long nights, the assassins never show up. Can you imagine? He waits, listening to every little sound, every creak in the floor. The strain is just unbearable. And he realizes he just can't be part of a cold-blooded murder, no matter how convenient it might be. The cost to his own soul is just too high.
So he takes matters into his own hands. He rejects the Patriot's way, which is betrayal. He rejects the general's way, which is murder. And instead, he creates a third option, escape. It's an act that doesn't really belong to the doctor or the Patriot. It belongs to him, to his own conscience.
He carefully, methodically prepares everything the American will need. He gets a boat, he packs food and water, throws in extra clothes, even a flashlight for signaling. It's this quiet, personal act of rebellion, all done under the cover of darkness. He's not saving a friend, he barely even knows the guy. What he's really doing is saving his own humanity by giving another human being a chance.
So, in the end, the American gets away. Sadao's secret is safe. But the story leaves us with this huge question, right? When everything is pulling you in different directions, your job, your country, your own inner voice, which one actually defines who you are? In a world that's always telling us to pick a side, maybe the most powerful thing you can do is choose the path that belongs to no one but yourself.